Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rhyme of the Times for the weekend in 25th of July 2026. Burnham launches his new regime with a new team and a stream of policies focused like a laser beam on the cost of living theme. Victims with outrage and fear scream as an early release scheme approaches to stop prisons bursting at the seams. The Commonwealth Games seems to have been redeemed. The Argentine team, with behaviour deemed as bad in the extreme, fails to end the Spanish dream. R.I.P. King Kev the Supreme. In January it would have been very long odds, because at that time it was in the lap of the gods how Burnham would find a way back then to manoeuvre his way into number 10. At the time he'd just received Labour's rejection, preventing him from being the party's selection to stand in the Gorton and Denton by-election, a decision that Sir Keir may now reflect on. But with some chicanery and good fortune, Andy reached his goal last Friday afternoon. So on Monday we went through the same old drill as the King had his PM switching duty to fulfil. So Keir left and Andy's furniture was moved in, and Burnham built his cabinet ready to begin. A new PM's vibe can be set by his cabinet, a key opportunity, and he was grabbing it. He went in hard on Sir Keir's old guard. 10 of Starmer's team he chose to discard. A lower post was offered to Rachel Reeves, but the former Chancellor preferred to just leave. But the other 10 were given the old heave-ho, no collecting £200, no passing go. With his reshuffles and new recruits, he aimed to match people to their strongest suits. So Mahmood stayed in charge of the Home Office, while John Healey will manage the country's coffers. The former Defence Minister now brought back after giving Starmer and Reeves so much flack. Now he can try and find the cash for defence that Rach insisted wasn't there to dispense. Andy perhaps killing 2 birds with 1 stone. If John can't find the dosh, he can't really moan. New Defence Secretary Wes Streeting, though, can keep pressing Healey for the missing dough. Some other significant appointments elsewhere. Yvette Cooper now Secretary for Health and Social Care. And as part of the political musical chairs, Ed Miliband moved from Energy to Foreign Affairs. Angela Rayner's back in her old housing brief, 10 months since her tax affairs caused her such grief. And his first week was all about the early release, releasing policies to ease the cost of living squeeze, giving people breathing space, aiming to please, wanting to appear as the nation's bee's knees. Single journey bus fares capped at £2 max, a cut in electricity value-added tax, a 20% cut in business rates for pubs and also live music venues and clubs. But the initiatives will all be delayed, and it's not clear from where the funds will be paid. Naysayers say these are piddling pledges, barely even fiddling at the edges. There was one early release that caught Andy unawares, an issue about which he seemed unprepared. The early release of some prison inmates caused by an increase in sentence discount rates. The Sentencing Act, hurriedly passed 6 months ago, was meant to address imminent prison overflow. But now many victims will feel anger and pain, knowing their tormentors will soon be out again. So Andy quickly announced that the scheme had been paused while a different solution to this crisis is sourced. On Friday, Andy opened the number 10 of the North, an office in Manchester, to be used henceforth for one day each week by his new administration, a demonstration of a government for all the nation. On Sunday, the World Cup finally brought to an end the feast on which footy fans had come to depend. Argentina lost the match, and boy, how they lost it. At the end, Spanish players were attacked and accosted. Argentina were defending their World Cup champions title. With a waning team, they felt that violence was vital. In the end, the soccer purists saw that justice was done as the stylish Spanish team deservedly won. On Thursday to Glasgow, many athletes converged, and out of the TARDIS the King and Queen emerged. In Scotland, the Commonwealth Games are taking place in name, but with just 10 sports it's not quite the same. When Victoria withdrew as hosts, they made the claim the high cost of organising it was to blame. A bit of a shame, but to the rescue Glasgow came. Missing many big names, some say it will be tame, but some unknown name is bound to find fame, and the fans will fan the flickering Commonwealth flame. If anyone can lift a football team, he can. That's what they used to say of Kevin Keegan. Infectious and stylish on and off the field, heart on his sleeve, emotions unconcealed. Skillful, energetic, with pace to burn, the man that piloted the white man's perm. Manager, player, pop star and pundit, modest, never one to blow his own trumpet. Despite seeming to have the world at his feet stayed grounded, no hint of conceit. King Kev brought fans refreshing simplicity at Liverpool, Hamburg, Saints, Fulham and Man City. But Newcastle's where he made most impact, 'cause as player and manager his tune always attacked. His stint as England boss, he admitted, was tough. Said when he resigned he hadn't been good enough. On Monday, fans, family and friends said goodbye to their favourite candid, can-do guy. At just 75, way too soon to die.